Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason has returned to rmconlive.com. And we have another monstrously riveting topic. But before I get there, I've got to promote stuff. Okay? I got to let people know what to do, where to go, and how to do it. Listen, go to my website right now. IamZoeWilliams.com and purchase a copy of my book, The Rebirth of Seeds. IamZoeWilliams.com. It's very important that we continue to support all of my community empowerment endeavors across platforms. So go support. Go check it out right now. Order your copy right now. I'll send it to you autographed. One of my guests are in the building. He's going to be dropping hot monkey lava on this topic. It's going to be crazy. All the signs of brain damage, the relationship chronicles, the getting to know process by Tonee Morton. Please, Amazon.com. I'm sure it's all over the place in terms of digital and in the world out there. Just go to Amazon. You should be able to get a copy of it right now. Please, please, please support the brother. It's important that you do so. This is what I do. Call to action. I'm wearing the royal garb of the kings. It's just how I get down. These clothes represent my mentality. This is what is called the Horus collar. My homeboy out of New York is a high-end designer. He designs these clothes. His name is Omar Buckley. The dude is only 28 years old. And when I say high-end, I mean it's high-end on the level of Versace, on the level of Gucci, on the level of Prada. This dude cuts, tailors, creates. He's an artist. He's a painter. The dude is like the Negro Michelangelo, right? He's cold-blooded. Go to his website right now, ramomart.com. The name of his line is Ramomar. R-A-M-O-M-A-R. Ramomar. But for the website, it's ramomart.com. Please support this young brother, man. Everything that he does, in my opinion, is about self-esteem building for black people. We will kill ourselves to go support Louis Vuitton. I saw a kid, couldn't been more than 23 years old, had tattoo of the Louis design on his arm. You ain't even Italian. The Italians don't even want to acknowledge the black blood in their veins. But you will kill yourself to run around with an emblem of people who have always hated you because of your power. Your power lied in the country you created. All these cultures, man. Huh? Yep. Egypt, that's your place. Throw away the word Egypt. Go back to Kemet. Right? That's your place. Nubia, we will kill each other for the dollar. Right? But if you look at the back of the dollar, there's a pyramid on it. And guess where that pyramid is from? It's not from Egypt. It's from Nubia. It's a Nubian pyramid. So that's your stuff. This dude, Omar Buckley, look at this shirt, Jesus. This dude designs clothes that are at a high-end level. I seen him, he did a bag that was made of crocodile. I wish I could show you the bag. It's a purse, right? It's an Ankh bag. Made of blue crocodile. I seen a red one. I mean, the dude is off the charts. Please support the brother. That's that piece of business. Now, on the line. Another call to action. We have a sister on the line right now. She's going to join the show. But before we get the topic, she has to tell you about the most amazing product. I'm telling you, I'm using it every day. She says 20 minutes a day could change your life. This is the Black Mastery NLP program. I'm very adamant about this call to action because I believe whenever black people are in trouble, we reach for that old safety net called religion and the Bible. And you know, when a dude converts to Islam, he got to grow a beard and wear all types of garb, and we got to become a culture. No, you don't. This program is about helping you rewrite all of the self-hate. Can you imagine a neuro-linguistic and NLP program that helps you rewrite the negative beliefs that we've inherited from a culture that always saw us as less than a man. She's on the phone right now. Veronica Conway, can you come in and tell us about this most important project you've developed?
Well, I'm so thrilled to be here, and I'm just honored that you get this, because I think our people need to get this. Just very briefly, I mean, I was born the child of a former Black Panther. And so my father's been incarcerated for the last 40 years. But something really interesting happened, and that is that I saw him live like a free man, and I saw our brothers and sisters walking around with incarcerated minds. And so I began to ask the question, what's the difference that makes a difference? Is freedom a function of your circumstances? And we're in some circumstances here in this country, in the world. Or is freedom a function of your mindset? And so as I founded the world's first African-American coaching initiative. We took Black coaches, we took coaching into the Black community on a national and international scale. And one of the things that is my babies that I created is the Black Mastery Program. So this program, I'm a master hypnotist and a master NLP practitioner, and because I really wanted to study what was the fastest technology that was going to break us free, that was going to create a jailbreak in our minds. And I knew we weren't going to sit on the couch for 10 years. So it's like, so how can we get it done in 20 minutes a day? And that was really the question that I asked. So the Black Mastery Program is a downloadable program. It's 9 tracks. It's narrated by my good friend Iyanla Van Zandt, who is the host of Iyanla Fix My Life. I introduced Iyanla to neuro-linguistic programming and did a bunch of neuro-linguistic programming with her.
Wow.
Even around getting back on Oprah. Woohoo. And because NLP works. So,
well, how does it work? Can you tell me how NLP works? Like, what makes it powerful?
All decisions really come from what we believe and what we hold in our subconscious. So all of our behavior comes from that. The problem for us is that we've been deeply conditioned by the dominant culture. So we've adopted the dominant culture's view of us, and we have internalized that. So all of the disempowering, I always think of it in terms of, what was your first race wound? What was the first experience that you had when you discovered what it meant to be Black? It's often very traumatic. And so what this program does is it goes in and it begins to deconstruct and reprogram and dehypnotize us from the hypnosis that we're in. And it works at the subconscious level. So what happens is, if you begin to throw off all of that conditioning, all the limiting beliefs, all the inner conflicts, then you will begin to simply get up and perform differently. You'll meet your goals. You'll stop procrastinating. It's a restoration to the divine self. But we have to undo all of that which is not us.
This is
all
all
this program is to do.
This is all too amazing to me. I mean, I listen to it. I have it. I listen to it. It's ridiculous. But it boggles my mind that this hasn't been created before. And you created this a few years ago, and no one has done anything to match it since you created it. So it's still ahead of its time, in my opinion.
It's the first of its kind. Nobody took neuro-linguistic programming and advanced hypnosis, and we have a thing called tone sound therapy, which is the music that we've laid down on the program. Is just listening to it is healing and restorative to the body and psyche. Just the music is completely cutting edge. Wow. So when you layer all of that in, you just pack in all the change, and so people change. People
pack in all the change.
I got married. Oh my God, I bought a house. I became debt free. All these things happen to people when they reprogram their minds, and that's what it does.
Blackmastery.com, is that where they can find it?
That is where they can find it. Blackmastery.com. And today, for your people, because I love your people, I love what you're about here.
Thank you.
The first 10 people that sign up for this will get a free coaching session with me, and coaching with me is a proven game changer.
Wow. No. Y'all don't understand. She coaches me. Like y'all don't get this. This woman is known in that field as the secret weapon in the field of coaching by other coaches. She coaches me. I'm telling you, she's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Take dick out and replace it with cock. She's off the charts. I'm telling y'all, get to your phone lines. Participate in this lady's movement. blackmastery.com. A neuro-linguistic program to undo self-hate, low self-esteem. Because we're black, no one has ever created something like this. If you don't participate in this, I hate niggas. I'm just going to come on out and say I hate niggas. Because we will kill each other over a pair of Jordans. Won't we? How often have we heard that? We will stay up late in the eve before that Foot Locker opens with the new Jordan. We will camp out like it's the Rose Parade waiting on some Jordans. But we won't spend the money that will undo the psychological damage of living in this country. To me, if you don't go support this woman, I'm just going to come on straight out and just say it. I hate niggas. I'm coming right up the street. I hate niggas. I just got to do that. And it's very important that we do that because at the end of the day, black people, we support our own to the end. OJ didn't kill them peoples. Michael ain't never touched nobody. We will ride, but we only ride for the entertainer. We don't ride for the common brother. Right? What sister saw Malcolm X when he was Sonny Red? No sister saw Malcolm X in Sonny Red. And that's where we are in trouble. We got to now be able to start to see, oh, that dude got a light on him. He might be in the wrong direction, but there's a light on him, and we need to grab that kid before he makes another bad decision. You feel what I'm saying? I'm tired of black people being the biggest consumers in the world while at the same time being the cheapest motherfuckers in the world. How you gonna penny pinch and spend all your money? I just don't get it, right? So support this sister, blackmastery.com, NLP program. Also support my brother, Omar Buckley, Ram Omar. Yeah, the t-shirts aren't cheap. Dye sublimation. It's not silkscreen. We're going to have all of the girls wearing some of his stuff. I can't wait to see you delicious morsels of beautoffery in this man's clothes. It's going to be beautiful. Please support the brother, ramomart.com. With that said, I'm taking a break. And when I come back, the topic, what she's doing ties directly into the topic. We'll be back. Voice of Reason. 323-965-1600 is the number to dial. Get to your phone lines. It's about to be nuts. I'll holler in 2 seconds.
To my kids' real daddies. Thank you, government, for putting me on. I mean, you was the definition of a real father. Because when your kids is hungry, they have food stamps. Yeah, we shop at Walmart. Yeah, we shop at Publix. We shop at Winn-Dixie. When your kids need shelter, yes, you have housing. And you also have Section 8 for a lot of us. And when our kids fall, get hurt, or sick, they have Medicaid. Yes, we go to the ER, we go to the walk-in clinic, and we also can make a doctor's appointment. I get their prescriptions with no hesitation. Now, if that's not a definition of a real father, making sure your kids have food, shelter, and health care, I don't know what it is. So like I said, thank you, government, for being my kid's daddy, and thank you for putting me on.
Margo, go get it. Go, y'all go kidnap it.
Wow. We're back live. Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on?
Damn.
So, we played this video yesterday on the So What morning show, which you can see every Monday at tradiov.com. Our topic yesterday was pay-per-view. Are you dealing with a parent who will not allow you to see your child unless you're current on your child support? Pay-per-view. You got to buy Child Master tickets, not Ticketmaster, Child Master tickets to your children's mama's house. And how does this tie into today's topic? Diet women versus real women. What are some of the effects of society, right? What are some of those effects, negative and positive, in the development of African American women today? What are some of those effects? How has being, listen, one of my favorite philosophers, J. Krishnamurti, it is no sign of good health to be totally integrated in a sick society. Society uses the woman's nature against her, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. You guys are dominated, men are dominated by testosterone. Freedom, scoring a touchdown, adventure. Mm-hmm. Women, you got oxytocin. You've got one in particular, estrogen. Estrogen is a builder. Sisters build, women build. I believe in you, I'm building something. The only problem is sisters, like brothers in America, don't have control over the material. So if they give sisters shit, sisters will build a mansion out of shit. We want to take this back to say you no longer have to live a diet life. We want sisters to be in their power, in their real power, not in a power that was subscribed to them by us, men, patriarchal society. Not only a patriarchal society, but let's go even higher. A white male-dominated society. Let's talk about that angle. That's what today's topic is about. So before I introduce everybody that's going to participate, let's ask some questions. What is the difference? What are the differences between the essential woman and the non-essential woman? What's your definition of an essential woman? And what's your definition of a non-essential woman? That video, non-essential woman. Right? There's no accountability in that video for opening up her big legs and letting somebody skeet off. Right? There's no accountability there. Can we be honest? There's no power in what she said. There was just bitterness, angst, and disrespect. Right? Let's go deeper. Let's go deeper. How has the woman's ascent in corporate America undermined her ability to be powerful in relationships? Is that to say the more powerful a woman is in corporate America, potentially the less powerful she may be in relationships? Somebody call us, 323-965-1600. That's what we're doing. One more question. What is the impact of the woman's loss of her intuition? And I won't go as far as to say loss. I may say women subject or what's the word? Women push their intuition down, right? They push it to the background. In much, we might even say women oppress their intuition in place of their ambition. And ambition is in place to provide something that I believe is an illusion, which is trust and certainty. Somebody speak to us, 323-965-1600. We got a room full of people. It's about to be crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let me introduce my crew real quick. To my left, Avataria. We like to call her Margo Hudson in the building. Say hi to the phone.
Good morning, everybody.
Yes, Margo's in the building. Representing the Youngs, the Young Money crew from Seattle.
Hey.
Whitney Tabor.
What up, what up, what up?
And my girl, Lord have mercy, Jesus, and then some. Fine as baby monkey hair. Beautiful. No, I'm just.
Baby monkey.
Baby monkey.
Beautiful Brandi Magee in the building.
Hey, everybody. What's up, chat room? I see you up there.
Diet women versus real women. Ladies, if you're fans, if you're following us on Twitter at Zoe Williams, tweet us what you think an essential woman is versus a non-essential woman, a real woman versus a fake woman. Tweet us your concepts, your questions, your ideas. Holla at me right now at Z.O. Williams. Get to the phone lines, 323-965-1600. We're about to take a quick break, but when we come back, we gonna get into it. I'm gonna introduce my guests, and we gonna have it. Let's do it. I'll be back at 2.2.
They got a license to kill niggas. They can shoot you if you scare them. Try not to get near them. They got a license to follow you around and hunt your black ass down if they think you look suspicious. They don't give a fuck about no witnesses. Fuck about no cell phone cameras. It don't make a difference. These motherfuckers is relentless. They've looked at you for centuries. Every black death is an act of
This is your brain on a new wave of feminism.
Bossy. When I was growing up, I was called bossy.
I think the word bossy is just a swasher.
Being labeled something matters. By middle school,
girls are less interested in leadership than boys.
And that's because they worry about being called bossy.
Yeah, that's right. What else could possibly explain the lack of women in leadership roles but the word
bossy?
And what better way to correct that than by banning a word?
We need to help them lean in.
Words matter.
Let's just ban the word bossy.
Yes, apparently this is the latest in a string of feminist explanations to explain why there aren't more women in certain fields. I mean, it's got nothing to do with sexual dimorphism in humans, you know, that outrageously sexist reason why we split up the Olympics by sex.
The belief that women are somehow a naturally weaker gender is a deeply ingrained socially constructed myth, which of course is completely false.
Or the fact that the physical dimorphism is accompanied by behavioral dimorphism as well. You know, as a consequence of having that neural net we call a brain, marinated in mostly one hormone or another. Nah, it's got nothing to do with sexual dimorphism in the behavior of humans. It's all down to the word bossy.
When I was growing up, I was called bossy.
I think the word bossy is just a swasher.
Being labeled something matters. By middle school,
Girls are less interested in leadership than boys.
And that's because they worry about being called bossy.
Firstly, with those feminists, like Rebecca Watson.
That's right, you liberal, intellectual guy who has a healthy interest in science and skepticism, but who finds feminism distasteful and would rather not hear about it. You are worse than rape threats.
Who told us that sexism and atheism was so bad that a woman could get asked for coffee in an elevator. And that's why there weren't so many women in atheism. While she simultaneously thinks starting a charity fundraiser by spitefully insulting every single male atheist in the audience. It's just funny.
I opened with a joke referencing the fact that, hello YouTube, it's been a while. I've missed you, and I'm guessing that you've missed me too, because I've heard that if a male atheist on YouTube goes too long without calling a woman a cunt, his balls will actually shrivel up and then tuck up inside of him, forming what some call a mangina. Most people got the joke. Most people got the joke. Rule number 1, don't try to be funny, even though you are obviously not funny.
Seriously, you start your video by spitting in people's faces and then blame the people whose faces that you've just spat in.
Ladies and gentlemen, I like to just slap the beehive. Diet women versus real women. Are we somehow bitter and angry because we're challenging women nowadays? I believe, and I've always said this, I get it all the time. Zoe's bitter, Zoe's this, Zoe's... I get it all the time, yeah. At the end of the day, I believe women are exceedingly powerful. And I believe just like an NBA player, right, who doesn't know shit about money, when he makes it to he's a first-round draft pick, and now all of a sudden he goes from tenement living, project living, to being a millionaire, having all this money. He has no idea, and what they say is those kind of draftees who come from impoverished life backgrounds, and all of a sudden they're millionaires, know nothing about money, they wind up tricking off their money. They call it the lottery effect. I think women, especially sisters, are now in that space. They're in a lottery effect space because they're better educated, right? They're making money. They're going up the ladder in corporate America. And at the end of the day, that question about being powerful at work and powerful in accomplishments with regards to education, how do you now deal with the power of that? And has that power cut you a little bit, made you diet? Let's go into it. We got a whole room full of people. My special guest in the building is brother Tonee Morton. He's on with us right now. All the Signs of Brain Damage is the book that he's written. The Relationship Chronicles, the Getting to Know You Process is his book. He came in with books for everybody. I mean, the whole building gets a book today. Man, is this crazy or not?
This is crazy, man. It's definitely a pleasure to be here. I really just thank you for the opportunity to be on the radio with you and these beautiful ladies. Hi, ladies.
Hi. Thanks.
And it is definitely crazy. What you're saying.
Wow. This is going to be a great show, man. And we got phone calls. We got everybody lined up right now. Let me ask the ladies really quickly.
Okay.
What's your concept? I'm going to start with Brandi because we love her facial expressions. She's just so beautiful. It's almost like, the fuck are y'all talking about? This is all very nonsensical.
Usually.
See, there we go. So, Brandi, tell us the difference between, say, a diet woman. And if you don't know what I mean by diet, I mean someone who's living an inauthentic life or somebody who's just doing something to get where they need to go, even though it's not necessarily in alignment with who they are. Give me your idea of what an essential woman is versus a non-essential.
Well, while I was sitting here, and I'm just going to assume that when you say essential woman, you say you use it in the term of what it actually means, and with essential being absolutely necessary or extremely useful. So in my opinion, an essential woman is a woman who embodies those things that a woman is supposed to do. I mean, she is she is the bearer of our race. I mean, when I say race, I mean human race.
Family. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She's a nurturer. She's the caregiver. She's the first teacher to the children. So I think that when you're living inside of that reality, you are an essential woman. I don't think it's necessarily easy to do that the right way, or if anybody has the exact answer on what the right way is. But I think as long as you're pushing forward in that direction, that's an essential woman. Now, diet women, I don't know. I don't know if I would use that term. It's funny.
Of course you wouldn't. I would love to use it. Diet women.
Diet women.
Yes. There's diet love.
There is diet
love.
love.
There are diet men.
There are diet men.
Oh, but you don't want to use that for women. Stop it!
I didn't say I don't want to use it. I said I don't know if I would have chose that term. But I do think it's
my
funny.
Show.
Well, all right. Well, there you go.
There you have it.
Low-fat women.
Exactly. 2%.
2% women.
2% bitches.
No, I mean, it's a little bit of both. I think that I don't think that it goes as deep as you do when you say that, like, now it's like akin to somebody just getting money for the first time. I think that men also just aren't used to women being able to command a certain place anymore. However, at the same time, there's some women that have taken it too far. You know what I mean? The I don't cook like it's a badge of honor. I'm not saying that you should be barefoot and pregnant, but at the same time,
my cousin was married to a woman who refused to cook. Now, mind you, they're divorced, but my cousin was married to a woman who refused to cook. She refused to do anything, but she wanted to partake in everything. She moved into his home, so she wanted to be put on the lease. She wanted everything, and it's like, you're not doing nothing. She didn't even want to work. She didn't want to do nothing.
No, everybody has to carry their weight.
Needless to say, she had to bounce like bad checks.
Otherwise, you are non-essential.
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 You are disposable.
Yeah.
Lady.
Whitney! Young Guns.
What up?
What's up, young gun?
Just chilling. I see a lot of these non-essential women in LA. Like, I feel like I'm not trying to bag on LA chicks.
Yeah, you are.
I am.
Here it comes.
But it's hard. It's hard being out here, just being around all these, trying to maintain your essentialness. And then the leadership aspect. I'm bossy. I like being bossy. It's not a bad thing to me.
It's not.
I like being a leader and whatnot. So, I mean, everybody essentially needs a leader. So I'm trying to be an essential leader, essential woman. I like to cook. I like to eat too. So let's do it all. I'm here. Just
Margo?
Yes. Yes, I have something to say about it.
Well,
first of all, when you say the term an essential woman, you're saying the essential woman. There's a difference between the essential woman and then when you say an essential woman.
Right.
So when you say you're using the essential woman, correct?
I'm saying an essential woman.
An essential woman.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Because when you say
the diet woman versus an essential woman.
Okay. Well, the diet woman, she probably doesn't have high standards. She's not somebody who expects much from herself. Society doesn't expect much from her, so she doesn't.
Listen,
perform.
we've been pimping women and their standards for many years. Yeah. I think the standards is your problem, but go deeper.
No. It depends on the woman's standard. Every woman has different standards, and when you're talking about the essential woman, you're looking at it. Basically, it depends on who's doing the looking. What do you consider an essential woman? Because one man can be with a woman and she can take care of herself. She doesn't need him to pay the bills. She has sex, somewhat often. And then you have another woman over here. She doesn't cook at all, but she gives good head. And this man, to one man, man B, head is really important to him. He don't talk. Eat the food, cook the food, and let's have sex. Let's give me some good head. To him, that is the essential woman. So it depends on who's doing the judging.
That is essential living.
I was going to ask.
We don't even have to like each other. Just give me head.
See, I'm just saying. So to some man, that is the essential woman. Give me head and shut up. Make some food, shut up. But then you have the essential woman. The essential woman, I believe, is a woman who is health and puts her health first, because when the woman is healthy, then the family can be healthy. So if she is doing things, living in moderation, she's not excessive, and I don't think that this is actually a financial situation. This has it's an internal. There's an internal things components that are connected to the essentialness of a woman, any woman, and then there are.
Is essentialness a word?
Yeah, I just made it a word.
That's kind of fresh. I heard it twice.
This is
so.
essentialism. I'm making up my own words. I'm an intellectual. We're gonna make up our own words today. Essentialism, and the term essential. You know, I just believe an essential woman is a woman who has her priorities in the right place. She's not out. She's she's more practical in her thinking and how she operates her home, and even her emotional stability and hygiene, physical hygiene.
Good stuff, Margo. A little long-winded, but good stuff.
I know,
we're getting good.
Y'all getting to know me, yes. Okay,
Tonee Morton! I need you to come in and clean up some of this chicanery.
When I think of the essential woman, what comes to mind is an essential woman to me is understanding that her value comes from purpose and not drive. And what that means to me is when you're a woman that comes into a room with drive, you're usually tunnel vision. It's a self-centered tunnel vision type way that you come into a room. When a woman comes into a room, I feel with purpose, she allows everything in the room to help her get to drive, to get to where she wants to be.
Kind of like the difference between demanding and commanding.
Absolutely.
When you're in a space of demanding, you don't have it.
Absolutely.
When you're in a space of command, it comes to you organically and naturally.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
I find that a lot of women, because our society and I'm what is society's effect on the development of black women in particular, for me, it is that our society has made women feel like, you have to constantly be coming into the room with drive and not with purpose, not allowing the room to help you as opposed to helping yourself. And that has actually kind of, I would say, as far as man is concerned, it is demasculated us a little bit because we feel like...
Wait. Hold on. That's a very interesting concept. Have we been emasculated, or has the women been masculinized? Right? Have women been...
I think both. I think both in a sense, simply because we as men, we're born as natural caterers. That is.
They don't agree with that shit there. Look at the faces.
That was a question mark face.
Yeah, I got it though. But
that
go
is
ahead.
an absolute trait that man has, is that we are born as natural caterers. Not to everyone, but there's definitely a woman that's got your number.
I agree.
We're born as natural caterers. When you take away the ability to be a natural caterer, you are basically telling a man that valuing, to value you as a woman by being a natural caterer, that if he doesn't have to do that, then he's lost, basically, in your life.
Can I, when you say caterer, could you explain further what you mean by that?
We as men are not limited. So catering comes basically from your interpretation and your expectation, not ours.
I have something to say about that, actually. And I do notice that the more you allow a man to be in his role and to kind of take care of you and do certain things, a man takes pride in that. And I think that some women kind of poo-poo that off, and they don't really give it the value. It actually can change a relationship when you allow a man to be in that position and you allow yourself to be feminine, allow yourself to be catered to. But a lot of women have, especially black women, we have to do everything. We're so used to taking care of everything and everybody that sometimes, that becomes...
Whitney?
Is there such... I have a quick question. Like, is there such thing as women over, I guess, catering to their man? Like... I feel like sometimes I do that in a few relationships I have been in because I want to just take care of him so much that he just stops doing everything. Like, he's like, you know what? I don't even need to do anything.
If you do too much, that will happen.
Doing too
That's
much.
true. You
Brandi?
gotta know when.
I want to respond to that because I think in a relationship, and the ones that are really good and balanced, each person has their own share of giving and taking. And the minute it goes to, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you're giving the same thing. It doesn't mean I paid for dinner this week, you're paying for dinner this next week, or I cook today, you cook tomorrow. If you work it out that way, that's fine, that's your business. But at the same time, it's like it's kind of a little bit of both. And I think that the issue comes when one person is doing all of the giving and another person is doing all of the taking.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is why I think women are diet. In a lot of them, not all, some banal, some, but not all, some banal.
Some banal. Okay,
right?
I like that.
This is why I think that happens, is because in a capitalist society, most of our relationship concepts and game rules are created by economists. So we go into a situation bartering, nurturing. Say, women are trying to sell nurturing.
Absolutely.
I can take
right?
care of you.
So my point is, if you come in selling something to me, I'm only going to value it at the cost I paid for it.
Exactly.
And if we're in a negotiation, I'm going to try to negotiate you down. And if I negotiate you down and you acquiesce, I no longer respect you at a particular level. I believe essential women are connected to a spirit that inherently change men. If you're not changing your man on a spiritual level, you are something he has purchased. 323-965-1600. With that said, I'm bringing somebody in right now. But wait a minute. Brandi is just...
No.
Are you constipated? Is that the look? Then speak on it, Brandi.
No.
I'm going to wait. Speak on
I
it.
was going to rebut, but I think we should move right along.
No, hell no.
No, I have something to add to what you said.
Go ahead.
There's a quote in my book. The reason why I wrote a book about the getting to know process is because when you usually speak to women about relationships, they think of the relationship word. They seem to forget that there is a getting to know process that comes with getting to the relationship aspect of your intimacy together.
You just said something amazing.
Okay, so in that, there's a quote in my book that says that where I talk about my mom wanting to be successful with my father so that she can validate his reasons, so she can validate her, so he can defend and validate her reasons for choosing him. Oftentimes, women do not want to help a man defend and validate his reasons for being in a relationship with her.
I'm saying people are dating resources, standards, concepts, and ideas. With that said, Brandi, Tabor, Hudson, when was the first time your man met the essential you and not the diet you? 323-965-1600, goddammit. Phone lines. Let's get somebody on the line right now.
Okay.
Who we got on the line?
I got Ronan.
Who?
You got Ronan. How you doing?
Who is this?
Ronan.
Ronan. What up, pimp?
Oh, man, wow, you guys are hitting me upside the head with some of these questions. Wow. Wow. Now, where do I begin? Non-essential and essential.
Can a man even answer that question, Ronan?
In his own respective way, I believe. I personally believe a non-essential woman is the social equivalent of a hot pocket.
A hot pocket. Wow.
Yes, bravo.
I mean,
Touche on that one.
I mean, it'll get you by, but then you'll still feel malnourished in many areas. So you're like, I need something else.
Wow.
An essential woman, and most definitely when you guys said, like, if she doesn't change your spirit, because again, someone in your life is a representative, not just your standards and values, but your choices. And when they go out in public,
right.
they do represent you good or bad ways.
Yeah.
So an essential woman is like, not only knows how to take care of business outside of herself, which is her life, but to add value to yours since you're blending lives together.
Ronan, I like this. Go deeper. When you say add value, is it always monetarily? Is it always materialistically? Go deeper into that value, sir.
It is not limited. It's not limited to monetary, because so many people get screwed up by that. Value is like, okay, some buy into the illusion that their job is a value, but what happens when you lose that job? That's where the real test is for that individual. So can that person turn a house into a home?
Well, you just broke that down, man. That's great information. You just broke that down. When you said you lose your job and you see if they still there, adversity is the marker, right? That's the marker.
It's one of them.
Yeah.
It's one of them.
Especially when 75% of all marriages end in financial disputes.
That's right.
Yes.
So that's a good point, man. We appreciate the call. Thank you very much. I've got to bring in Veronica Conway. Talk to us, Veronica. I mean, welcome back to the show. Everybody loves Veronica. She's a hit. The internet has been on fire because of her, appearance last week. Veronica, please help us understand the insanity of the modern day woman. And I'm talking specifically African American, because as they say, if America has allergies, the African American community has AIDS. That's how bad we are.
I've never heard that one, but
if America has the sniffles,
that's a good one. That's a good one.
We stage 4 cancer.
I want to piggyback a little bit on what Brandi said earlier about the definition of essential as being necessary, and I also love Mr. Morton's definition around purpose. But if you look at essential, also, it also talks about pertaining to the essence of a thing and its highest nature as natural and spontaneous. So part of the insanity that we're witnessing is that women are walking around in very masculine postures because, as you said, Zoe, capitalism incorrectly identified power as masculine, and we went for the okey doke.
Absolutely.
So we are exhausted because it is exhausting for us to run around in these masculine postures. So anytime you have to brace to maintain something that is unnatural to you, you become exhausted. And so you show me a woman that is running around in a masculine posture. And by the way, part of the reason that she's in that posture is because her man has been under assault by the dominant culture. But she's been under assault too. Wow. And he's almost lost the will to protect her. So she's exhausted. If you try to stand against a wall and press into it for more than a couple of minutes, I want you to notice how long you can maintain that posture before you become exhausted. And once we become exhausted, because we're not actually in flow, we're not actually coming from our essence, then we start to try to control every damn thing because we're afraid that we don't have control.
And isn't control, I always say this, control is the opposite of freedom, right? Control
absolutely
would be, in my opinion, estrogen, and freedom would be testosterone. And actually, they're the same. You can't have freedom unless you're in control of yourself or others, especially in the construct of the society in which we live, right? The people at the top, the 1%, are in control of everyone else, and they get to enjoy the highest level of freedom, right? And I'm saying what happens in our relationships, we will look at the control of others as a type of freedom, and we will pursue it not knowing that we have to really lock others down in order to live the kind of life we want to live.
Right.
So to me, that's part of the problem. The way we interface, we're interfacing from a selfish place that's really about some type of energetic or spiritual oppression of our partner, in my opinion. Help me make this make sense.
You asked the question earlier, when does a man meet the most essential woman? So let me say this and still be loved.
Let it out.
He meets her when she is in the throes of an orgasm. because that is the place where
That's when she's
can
her
most
freest.
easily surrender.
Yes.
Because that's where she can actually surrender and let go deeply enough. And what I'll say about that is that when she is in that deep level of surrender, see, she can magnetize everything in the universe to her, just the same way that if you put a woman in a room and you activate her with some sperm and you give her some food for 9 months, she can pull and draw to her magnetically. She's the magnetic polarity. She can draw to her everything that there is to create another human being. Well, she can actually magnetize and draw everything if she's properly catalyzed and activated as a woman by a powerful man. So in that state of surrender to a powerful man, she doesn't have to go out and hustle and be on her grind. She can draw and manifest everything to her. But because we've been trained out of that nature, we are instead running around pretending like we have to push and drive and control, but it is 100% antithetical to who we are.
Wow. You know what's so interesting about what you're saying right now? I've often said, and I'll bring a group of sisters together, and I'm saying sisters specifically because I love sisters. I love them deeply, passionately. I love them, right? In my entire life, I've only had one white girlfriend. No disrespect to the snow bunnies. You guys are beautiful, too. But
I love you for that, though. I love you for that.
Right, but I've only dated only one white woman in my life, and I was 17. And then one day she gave me a Jerry curl. And I was looking in the mirror and I said, no, this shit is evil. This is evil. This is not right. Right? I had a nervous breakdown. I said, well, damn. Okay, if I'm going to stay here, I got to pimp. I got to be a pimp. To me. And then I saw this look in my mama's face. My mama was like, okay, nigga, you done crossed the line. Shit. Okay. It was cool when you had your regular hair, pimp. And you got a white girl. Okay, we from the South. Okay, it's new times. But you in the bathroom getting a curl, and she putting it in. Okay, nigga,
she put it in. That's baffling to me. That's funny.
So I love sisters, but the point that I'm trying to make here is I've always told sisters. And Veronica sent me a picture that's going to illustrate the point that I'm trying to make. She sent me a picture of an African slave woman with this harness over her mouth so she couldn't speak because the white slave master was afraid of what came out of her mouth because she could chant life or death.
Absolutely.
White men were dropping dead because female slaves were chanting some spiritual. It could have been Ile Ife, Yoruba. It could have been whatever the religion was. They were chanting death into these fools just by what we spoke. So now we fast forward to the 21st century, and I tell sisters, you claim to believe in the law of attraction, but you're not taking responsibility for the negative narrative that you keep reincarnating towards your brother. I'm just saying, we got to deal with that. 323-965-1600. We got another caller on the line. Caller, you're on. Holler at us right now.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Hi.
sir, sister girl. How
Hi,
you
Zoe.
doing?
Am I on?
Yes, you are.
Oh, it's Jay Mitchell. How you doing, Zoe?
Jay, what up?
How are you?
I'm alive and well, sugar.
I just wanted I'm going to make a really quick point.
Wait, wait, Jay. Wait, let me do this right. Jay is very special to me. Okay? When you guys hear my intro for the Zoe What Morning Show starring you, that's Jay Mitchell singing.
Oh,
right?
nice. Yeah.
That's Jay Mitchell singing. She is an incredible artist, musical artist, being produced by a good friend of mine, Shafiq Hussein, who also produces Erykah Badu and Bilal and many other people. Her album is getting ready to drop. What's the name of the album?
It's called The Pharaoh's Parade.
The Pharaoh's Parade. Her music is incredible. She sent us music. We play it often. We have some here, don't we? Don't we have her record here? Yes, we will play your record today. Call
thank
record.
you.
Really appreciate you for calling in. Talk to us now.
I'm going to keep it as short as I can, but I wanted to make a point about the masculine identities that a lot of black women are taking on in society, and just kind of get some ideas to how maybe we could kind of curve that a little bit. And one thing that I've noticed is that it's a lot easier to embrace feminine nature when it's embraced by society. I feel like there needs to be kind of a cultural shift where the feminine energy is once again appreciated. And for example, a woman learns at a very young age even, like every time you're crying, oh, you're crying like a little girl. Oh, you're acting, you're weak, you're a pussy. Or you're a bitch, or life is a bitch. You know, so I'm thinking like all of these common, adages we have in society kind of subconsciously shape you almost to deny your femininity, and you hear, well, the world is ran by men and it's a man's world. So you start to think psychologically, I have to compete with this. Or how can I have, especially when of the woman is so misunderstood and is so still mysterious, and it's not even held up to the power that it is. So when society or when black men start to make that shift as to embrace, our version of strength, which may be crying, or which may be emotion, or which may seem, hysterical or hysteria. I feel like a lot more women will start to feel comfortable just falling into that receptive, receiving nature.
Beautiful, beautiful
so that's
stuff.
all I wanted to say.
I appreciate you, Jasmine.
And lay that pipe. And brothers got to lay that pipe.
Speak on it. Go deeper.
Orgasms and a woman being able to magnetize through orgasms. Well, you got to be laying that pipe.
Right.
That's your role. So, keep your end of the bargain, and don't be selfish in the bedroom, and make sure that your woman is enjoying herself and being taken care of.
Good
All
stuff.
right.
Thank you, hon. I
Y'all
appreciate
have a great
you.
day.
I appreciate
you too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's interesting.
Man, I believe what she says. When Veronica said earlier that you will find the most authentic and true woman in the moment of orgasm, I believe that this is what I mean by diet. I believe that you guys are afraid to be real women around men because of our judgment of you, because of our labeling of you. I believe that. I believe because we're quick. We're quick to say, that bitch is a hoe.
Quick.
We quick to do that.
I just had,
Right? I'm not saying that I'm a proponent of promiscuity. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is I am a proponent of authenticity. And if a woman can't be authentic, she is no good to no one.
That's right.
Not anybody. Not herself, not her relationship, not her family. If you're being raised by a get along, never revealed the truths of her own mistakes type person, you being raised by a witch who's building a false reality around you to believe that is a type of standard that you use to conduct your life by. That's my belief. Tonee?
The caller that just called in, she made a very interesting point about, women being questioned by society and everything for being emotional and everything else. I would definitely agree with her. Where I would add to it is women ridicule each other more than any other gender.
Lay it out there
in
then.
America.
Lay it out there then, Tonee.
It's not, one of the things that most women don't understand, particularly about the getting to know process, is that when it comes to a man, actions speak louder than words to you, but words speak louder than actions to us.
Hold that thought. Okay. I want you to write it down, whatever you got for me, because I'm going to come right back to you at the top. We got to take a damn break. Diet women versus real women. It done got monkey hot up in this piece. It's going down. We'll be back at 2.2. This is my girl, Jasmine, melodiously fly. Jay Mitchell, go get her record. Let's do it. This is called Rapture.
The woman you see right here is so-called American feminist, journalist, and social and political activist Gloria Steinem, who became nationally recognized as the leader of and media spokeswoman for the women's liberation movement in the late 1960s and 1970s. But did you know she was working for the CIA? Wikipedia only pays a small amount of lip service to this little factoid, but the facts are that Miss Steinem became a media darling due to her connections to the CIA, and the feminist Ms. Magazine was funded by CIA money. In the 1970s, a radical feminist group called the Red Stockings claimed that before she became a feminist leader, she was spying on Marxist students in Europe and disrupting their meetings. Steinem was recruited by CIA's Cord Myers to direct an informal group of activists called the Independent Research Service. This was part of Myers' Congress for Cultural Freedom, which created magazines like Encounter and Partisan Review to promote a left-liberal chic to oppose Marxism. Steinem attended communist-sponsored youth festivals in Europe, published a paper, reported on other participants, and helped to provoke riots. Gloria Steinem, who was from a poor and dysfunctional family and lived in a house without running water, was able to attend the elite and expensive Smith College. After she graduated, she spent 2 years in India spying for the CIA. She received a Chester Bowles Student Fellowship to study in India. This was a fellowship created by the CIA to cover Steinem's expenses in India. No one has received a Chester Bowles Student Fellowship either before or since Steinem received one. Commenting on the CIA-controlled student festivals organized by Gloria Steinem, Sheila Tobias, an unwitting participant on one such trip, who later taught women's studies at Cornell University, said the CIA was interested in spying on the American delegates to find out who in the United States was a Trotskyite or communist. So we were a front, as it turned out. Gloria Steinem's name keeps showing up in projects associated with CIA operations. For example, in the summer of 1959, just before John J. McCloy took his family for an extended trip to Europe, C.D. Jackson wrote to remind McCloy that later that summer, a World Youth Festival was scheduled to take place in Vienna. Jackson asked McCloy to contribute a propaganda article. The piece would appear in a daily newspaper to be published in Vienna in conjunction with the festival. McCloy agreed, and the article was published in 5 languages in a newspaper distributed by a 25-year-old Smith graduate named Gloria Steinem. When this covert operation was revealed by Ramparts magazine in 1967, Steinem told the New York Times that she approved the agency's role. I was happy to find some liberals in government in those days who were far-sighted and cared enough to get Americans of all political views to the festival. Steinem's definition of a liberal then included such young men as Zbigniew Brzezinski, an assistant professor at Harvard. Steinem arranged to fund Brzezinski's visit to the student festival. Brzezinski would later become the national security advisor to President Jimmy Carter, and he was the man who invented the so-called bear trap, which suckered the Soviet Union into invading Afghanistan. Brzezinski was also the man who first organized and funded Osama bin Laden's jihad against the Soviets in Afghanistan. Gloria Steinem also identified and targeted Alice Walker in the early 1960s. She befriended Alice Walker and paid for Alice Walker to come to the CIA-manipulated student festival in Vienna. Alice Walker would later become the foremost writer of anti-blackmail hate books, all of which were funded by money funneled to her publishers by the CIA. Steinem has boasted in interviews with the New York Times and the Washington Post that her training with the CIA was good journalistic training because the CIA taught you to be accurate. This statement proves that Steinem was happy to collect money working for the CIA. Gloria Steinem dated J. Stanley Pottinger for 9 years.
Wow.
Pottinger was in charge of sabotaging civil rights enforcement at the Justice.
Wow. I don't know if it's true. But I do know, and I've never been a military man. My father was. I heard my father was I heard. Last time I seen brother was 1978. Okay. I heard he was an MP, military police. Right? I don't know if it's true, but I do know this about war. Had a lot of uncles in the military. I'll tell you something about war. The most powerful form of war is psychological. Yeah. Propaganda. Right? And if they had something on deck called COINTELPRO, which the sisters of today know nothing about, it is not even of any import. But COINTELPRO was looking for the next black messiah. Let's go kill him. If the government is serious about finding the next black messiah, why shouldn't the sister be?
Right.
Well, no. What we'll do is give the sister a different psychological program, resources, and benefits.
That's right.
And then teach her how to interface with him that says, if you don't have what I have, if you don't rise up this particular ladder like I have, then you're not a good man.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody disagree with me. 323-965-1600. We got callers. Callers, get on this line and tell us what you think about this. Are you there? Who's there?
Hello.
Hey, hell is low. Welcome.
Hi.
All right. Hey, what's your name and where you calling from?
Camille H, calling from Los Angeles.
What's up, Camille H
Hey,
from Los
hi.
Angeles? L.A. in the building. What's
Yeah.
up? Meet me over at Roscoe's. Let's get something on Pico. No, I'm just kidding. Talk to me, Camille.
Oh gosh, you guys have covered so much. I'm hearing what you guys are saying, and to some degree I agree, but you know, for the most part, I think that we've been speaking in idealized terms.
Wow,
you know,
go deeper. I like this. Yeah.
Like what is the best situation possible, and we have to realize that black women and black men alike were not brought into this country under the ideal situations, and we have not existed in an ideal situation ever since. And so then the question becomes, how do we maneuver, how do we negotiate that with our current conditions, instead of saying we need to deconstruct the masculine and the feminine, and black women are getting more power while black men are being demasculinized. That's not going to change, and we can't change that. So then how do we fix it from here? And a lot of that is balancing out what we have.
Camille, do me a favor. Just stay online, because I think our resident author, Tonee Morton, disagrees with some of the things you've said. Tonee, could you speak to that?
Sure.
First of all, one of the things that I've realized as a black man is I'm not limited in my approach to be able to change anything, no matter what my circumstance, no matter what atmosphere I am in, or what capacity. That's one. Two, what most women, I think, don't understand about men is, like I was saying earlier, that actions speak louder than words to you, but words speak louder than actions to us. So when I talk about words speaking louder than actions, I'm simply bringing to the table the most important element to a man, which is a woman's tone and temperament.
Speak to it, Tonee.
When you
Watch your tone and delivery, Brandi. Go ahead, Tonee. Go ahead, Tonee.
And what I mean by this is that, you know, when women are talking about getting their needs met by a man, if your desire is greater than a man's willingness to meet your needs, he will always make sure that you're okay. Because your tone and temperament is always a trump card that you will always be able to use on men. The greatest element to man when it pertains to women is your tone and temperament.
You know what? This brother is a wise dude. Let me just say. It ain't always about book knowledge. This brother is a wise dude. That's something my great-grandmother, Emma Sue McWhirter, right? McWhirter, you understand? Emma would tell you, a woman has the power to change the tone of any situation.
Absolutely.
If it's negative, but women today, like I said, somebody should speak to this. Maybe Veronica can. Stay with us, Camille. Women today, and I don't think it's any fault of theirs. I just think they're in an environment that causes them to be more masculine and competitive. As Veronica said, they are thinking, living, and being through a male psychology. It makes them more combative. They've lost the art of changing the tone of a situation. Veronica, can you speak to that?
Yeah, and as I've said before, the woman is the subconscious of the planet, meaning she takes everything into her subconscious. She's the receptor. She takes in all the information. She takes in all of the media. She takes in all the programming. She takes the man into her body. We are the receptors of the planet. So everything that's happening on the planet, we take in and internalize. And so we've become so argumentative and competitive. And when men, see, we got to understand the nature of men.
Wait, Veronica,
When men,
Veronica, one second. We've got some angry black women in the building right now, just based off of what you're saying. I'm looking at facial expressions. It's a lot of screw business going on. What I need you to do is keep pounding them in the head, Veronica. Keep smacking them. Go ahead.
And I am collaborating with my sisters. I am in solidarity with my sisters in the room.
Thank you, Veronica.
So, but when we compete with men, see, men by nature, if they see a competitive threat, then they fight fire with fire.
That's what we
do.
do.
So if we're competing and arguing with him, then he's going to respond in kind. He's either going to fight or he's going to flight. So either he's going to start to go toe-to-toe with you, which you don't like, or he's going to dismiss you in his mind and discount everything that you say. So so I am always curious about how we went from being goddesses and sorceresses and queens that could chant life and death out of our mouth to trying to manage the whereabouts, the location of some dude. Like, we're so distracted trying to manage whether he's paying us attention or not. So busy trying to manage his whereabouts and what he's thinking about, and we are squandering all of the life force and power that is in our nature that we could be using to build empires and economies and nations. We are squandering it with this minutia that they have taught us is important.
And what's crazy is the women of this psychology that are mothers are mannequins giving birth to mannequins. Empty on the inside. And now this emptiness is replaced by an ambition to fill up the void with things. Sometimes the thing is a husband who cares enough to buy and support that psychology. Do you understand? Oh, we got to be equally yoked. You got to think empty the way I think empty. It's a cold situation. Margo and Brandi disagree. I'm going to Margo.
Are you scared?
I don't. Yeah,
exactly. I will fuck you into submission. Go deeper, Margo.
All right. I'm not going to touch that one at all. Go deeper, Margo.
That's how you shut it down, damn it.
Like, did he just say he's going to fuck you into submission?
I'm not even going to touch that. I didn't hear it.
That went around my head. Okay, I do believe that there's a lot of emptiness that's being passed down from generation to generation, especially when we look at things as being more important than ourselves, and it's more important for us to maintain our car and our rims and our shoes and our nails than it is to take care of the fact that you had an abusive relationship 5 years ago and it's still affecting you now. The fact that you're putting these things ahead of your own growth and well-being, I think that is a problem. And I do believe that there are a lot of women who are passing this down, and I do believe we need to get a new set of values. And yes, we do need standards, but they need to be moving in the right direction, which is something that's going to support not only the woman, but whatever supports the woman is going to support the family. So whatever's good for the woman is good for the family.
Tabor, and then Brandi.
I agree with everything that everybody's saying. Like, I'm soaking it up. Like I said, I'm the young one on the show. I'm learning every time we come on here.
So you just giving me
all I'm saying,
an excuse to give you another eye.
Okay. I want to ask, how do we do that? Margo just said a bunch of amazing things that I agree with. How would we start that? How do you start teaching these empty children and empty mothers? How do you start?
You have to start with the awareness that something is wrong. If somebody doesn't know that something is wrong and something's not operating right, or they're doing something that's producing, or something that they're doing, or they have no awareness that what they're doing is actually producing their life, then of course you're going to have all kind of foolishness.
You can't teach them kind of people.
Awareness.
You just got to have families and build them with the psychology. I mean, for real. You can't teach them that. That is a personal, intimate experience that if you're living it...
It's learned by children.
But I'm saying if you're living it, you can't really relate because this is my life. This is my understanding. Yes. So the only way you can do it to affect change is to become the embodiment of it. That's right. So that they can see it without articulation.
Right. You're saying the mother.
I'm saying everybody involved in that family building.
Okay, good.
Can you hear me? I'm not sure if you guys can
we
hear
can
me.
hear you, Veronica.
Here's the deal. If we can make Scandal a #1 hit show, then we can do this.
Absolutely.
Really.
That's right.
Wow.
Really.
That's right.
I agree. We can do it.
But see, to me, and sisters, y'all may disagree with this, 323-965-1600. Get to your phone lines right now. I'm going to all callers. Get to your phone lines, 323-965-1600. To me, I've said this before, the aristocracy of the commoner are entertainers. The royalty of the common man is entertainers, especially in today's society.
Yeah.
What Beyonce does is now the rule, right? What Olivia Pope does is now the rule.
Right.
And what you fail to realize, I tell sisters this all the time, you think for the nest. You don't think for the tree that the nest is in. You think for the nest. So you got sisters running around. There's a post on Facebook where the sisters are happy to be the best educated and the best or the highest enrolled gender in college. But you're just thinking the nest. You're not thinking about the tree. Why? That ain't something to be so happy about when you look at the world from a broader perspective. #1. The #1 educated person means you guys are integrating into the workforce at a higher rate. You're coming out of school in debt. That's part of the hustle. America's #1 lender of money is China. So who's paying that money back with the workforce and the taxes generated? Black women. You have become the #1 debt slave in America, and yet you judge your man because he won't join you. I'm just saying, 323-965-1600. Brandi, go in.
There have been so many places that I wanted to go over the course of this conversation. So kind of got to get my bearings straight again. But here we go. I think that one thing that we're missing here.
What have we missed?
The thing that we've missed in this conversation is that there's been, and you know I'm going to go here, and I'm probably about to piss all the men off right now.
I love you, Brandi. Come on.
But there's been a whole lot of shit heaped on the shoulders of women in this conversation.
Yeah.
And you said earlier, Zoe, you said, you want men to come along with your empty thinking when we're not thinking that way, or something to that effect. Well, if you're not thinking that way, you also have to do your part in the family unit too, in the re-education of us too.
Agreed.
It is it's a collaborative effort.
Agreed.
And yes, there are many women out there that make mistakes and don't even know that they're making them. I am probably one of the bigger ones myself. And I accept that. You know what I mean?
That's how
Absolutely.
you get there. That's how you get there. The promise.
But
looks like a C in your future.
Yeah, listen,
Go ahead, baby.
I reject your grading system. I will not be integrated into your line of thinking, into your educational program.
Like a C coming along up in this bitch. Huh?
But this isn't just, if men, you can't complain about what women are doing right and wrong if you're just going to sit back and complain about what women are doing right and wrong.
That's true.
Right.
Nobody's perfect in this thing. And in order for us to all move forward, we have to all work together and stop turning the fingers outward and start turning them inward. And
Absolutely.
and then we need to grab each other by the hand and figure out how we can make it all work together.
I love it. Yes, that's beautiful.
So that's
beautiful.
been usually when I'm over here sitting making grumpy faces. It's not because I want to beat the men up. You know, it's usually because I just want to hug you and hold you and say, how can we work this out?
Let's set up an appointment. Jesus. Go ahead, Tonee.
You know, my mom used to always say, when you lay down with dogs, you usually get fleas. And one of the things that I think society plays into when it comes to females is the whole emotions to logic thing. And what I'm saying is that women use emotions to replace logic, whereas men use emotions as a release to logic. And so
interesting.
My mom used to always tell me that if you're like you're arguing with your girl, don't argue with her, because she's using her emotions to replace logic, which means that she doesn't want you to have a solution at that time. She just wants to vent.
She wants to feel. She's feeling.
But but as a man, I understand that at that moment, I'm not losing. And as men, we need to understand that when a woman is being emotional, we're not losing. Wow. Because there's no solution. Nobody's coming up with an answer.
Interesting. Veronica?
Yes.
Speak to what Tonee is talking about.
I'm going to take it a little bit deeper.
Well, I'm with deep. Let's go.
I'm with deep, too.
So, the man's positive, I'm going to start talking about things a little bit in the context of energy, because this is an energy world that we live in, and melanated people have more energy than anybody on the planet. That's why they've hijacked our energy, because out of our chocolate skin and our kinky hair, our DNA spirals, we actually are the most powerful manifestors on the planet through our melanation. And it's an energy world. And so if you play the woman out of pocket on energy, then you play the world out of pocket and you gain control.
Yes.
So the man's positive polarity is his genitals, and the woman's positive polarity is her heart.
Right.
And that's the essence of yin and yang, right? Yin and yang symbol, they those feed each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the problem with most women, and I'm not saying this from a context of blame, I'm saying this because most people on the planet don't know that this phenomena exists, and we're walking around at the effect of it. So a woman, typically, because of all of the things that she has taken into her nervous system, all of the disappointment, the fear, the shame around her sexuality, the shame around her intelligence, all of the places where she's been shut down, all of that creates this energetic encasement around her heart that is almost like lead. It's like a lead case. So in other words, it is her nature, her heart chakra is actually the essence of love. But when she has had so much negativity deposited into from men that aren't interacting with her in any right consciousness, from the larger culture, then you get this encasement of lead. And what happens? Instead of coming from her true love, she begins to manipulate to get love, not remembering that that's who she is. And so what's been missing, and so that part of her that's love, that is tender, that is precious, that is vulnerable, that's the thing that men are missing, that they are longing to protect, but they can't access it anymore. When women demonstrate that to them, she doesn't have to nag him or yell at him. She don't got to do nothing. He will. What did Mr. Morton say? He will cater to her, because she is a demonstration of her love. So we have to begin to do the deeper work, the subconscious work, the reprogramming, the energetic work. A man has got to be able to stand powerful with a woman in his masculine energy and let her burn off all of that toxic gunk that sits around her that stops her from being able to be exactly who she is.
Wow.
Thank you, Veronica.
Wow, we got other callers. Huh? Got you. Listen, we got to take a quick break. But when we come back, we're going to the phone lines. I urge you, if you want to participate in this show, if you want to participate, call me right now, 323-965-1600. I'm taking all callers. I mean, it's been a lot of heavy information that's been laid out. If this don't make you better, you might be retarded. We'll be back at 2.2. So what? I mean, the voice of reason. We'll be back in a minute. Holla!
I would like to, for a moment, ask you some questions about the economics of job getting in terms of the blacks versus the whites. The statistics I was able to pull together indicate that at the present time, white males make $17,427 on an average basis for the year. Black males make $12,738. White females make $10,244, and black females make $9,476. It is clear from these figures, as indeed I think it's clear to most of us from what we see, that there is a discrimination against blacks and against women in our present system. Since not all blacks will be superior, how would you try to even that out so that there would be some equality of job opportunities?
Yeah, I'm sorry you missed the earlier part of the program when I pointed out that where you find people not represented evenly, that does not show the institutional effect, because almost nowhere in human affairs do you find people evenly represented.
Well,
if you compare comparable people with respect to age, with respect to education, etc., you get a totally different picture, both with respect to blacks and women. Now, the figures that I saw, for example, show more recently that if you take black families where the husband and wife are both college educated and compare them to a white family where the husband and wife are both college educated, the black family is now earning $2,000 a year more. The problem is that very few blacks fall in that category. That when you compare category for category, then we're talking about getting people a decent education. I'm saying that you cannot say that numbers collected at the employer's place of business reflect simply the employer's policies. Those numbers reflect underlying conditions in the whole society, just as numbers collected at a hospital do not show you that the people are sick because they're in the hospital.
No, I would agree with that, but you would also have to agree that generally speaking, women are paid less, for example, for the same jobs as men.
No, I would not. I would not agree with that. If you're talking about women with the same number of years of experience, with the same continuous service, etc., then when I look at that, I don't find that disparity. I find, for example, in many cases, the women are making more, depending upon how you break the data down. The difference with women is between married women and everybody else. That's the real difference.
Well, even as to single women, the Census Bureau statistics, the most recent ones I could find, 1978, say that single men are earning $11,100 and single women are earning $9,300.
Yes, I love the word single that is used. When I did my study, I didn't use single, I used never married. You see, a woman who is single at age 40, having spent 10 or 20 years raising children, is really not quite the same as a man at age 40 who's been working continuously for 20 years.
And the differential she cited is not that great, so it could easily be accounted for by the
Yes, because when I break them down the other way, I did this for the academic world, and there I found the women who are never married, which is the term the way I take it, there they were earning more than the men. And similarly, when the government did data some years ago on women who had been working continuously since high school into their 30s, there you found that they were making slightly more than men of the same description. So the difference is between married women and everybody else. And married men get an extra bonus because their wives take care of many things that enable them to put more time into their careers.
I'm sure you're aware of the fact that there are approximately 15% of all homes in which there is only one wage earner. So that when you talk about women being able to take care of things for their married mate wage earner, the fact is that in the overwhelming majority of American homes, the women also work. And therefore, I don't think your explanation that women have other responsibilities and that that's why they are...
Work can mean part-time work or full-time work. Women do not work full-time to the same extent that men. Part-time workers make less than full-time workers.
Well, if he didn't take off from the free throw line and do a 360-degree blindfold between the legs dunk on George Washington's mama, I don't know what happened. This dude just smacked the Kool-Aid out of her mouth again.
Oh, my goodness.
Stats can be twisted. And every time she tried to make a case for some agenda, listen, Krishnamurti, my favorite philosopher, says, it is conceptual thinking that keeps men separated. If you look at the planet Earth from a satellite's view, you don't see borders. Right?
Right.
Listen, to be a Blood and a Crip, you have to have different social game rules. there have to be ideological borders and constructs that make you a Blood versus a Crip, that makes you a Democrat versus a Republican, that makes you a feminist versus a heminist. Do you understand? There has to be ideology. This is why I say women are fucking whores to ideas. And they try to make men fit the template. No, I'm not going to live up to your idea. Who you fucking, me or the idea of me? And when the idea of me isn't met, am I now worthless to you?
Wow.
Come on. 323-965-1600. Caller, Anthony. You're in the building. Talk to me.
Oh, man. I got a lot going on again today. I called y'all probably about 2 weeks ago. I talked to Margo and all them about feminism. I'm calling again today talking about what I got going on now. Number one, the biggest problem here is that we have a lot of elaborate solutions to simple problems. Like, what's going on is we're trying to have all these different things about energy, a lot of different things, but the primary issue is that women are trying to actually replace the men in the house. When the man is not there, when he's been removed, it's a void that's left. The universe is going to want to balance that in some kind of way. So what happens is the woman, she now becomes the man. When she has kids in the house, the woman is going to raise the daughter to be just like her.
So Anthony, wait, Anthony, let me interrupt you for a second. The video was Thomas Sowell. That was the brother who was breaking down the feminist and racial aspects of what's going on. What you just said is interesting in that I don't think women are actively trying to replace the men. What I do think is, as I said earlier in the show, the system is set up and women play the game. They will build from whatever materials you provide them with. So I don't think they actively go out and say, okay, I want to replace the man, but based off of the social construct in which I live, I'm going to build with whatever materials are provided to me. Again, just as simple. Where were you born? Where were you born, Anthony?
You said what now?
Where were you born?
Charleston, West Virginia.
Charleston, West Virginia. I'm sure you were brought up in the Christian faith at some point of your life, right?
That's correct.
Exactly. If you were born in Saudi Arabia, you'd be a Sunni. If you were born in Iran, you'd be a Fatimid, right? Or a Shia. That's what you would be, based off of the social game rules of the place you're born. So again, sisters in America are born with a particular set of game rules. One, this is how I look at sisters. Did you have your mama and your daddy? I look at that. Were you from a broken home? Was there issues between mother and dad? Because that's a part of her psychology. Did you go to college? If so, which one? What did you study? Next, what's your religious belief? When you start to compile all of the software that she's using to create the perspective she has, you can then have a better understanding of who she is only on the surface.
Absolutely.
Not energetically, not spiritually. So there aren't any wrong answers here, but we don't want to marginalize the unconventional answer for the one that's obvious. Thanks for the call. Appreciate what you said. Good stuff. Caller, you're on the line. Let's go.
Oh, no. Hey. Hi, Joe.
Hey.
Crystal. You know, I'm working. I'm just listening.
Oh, Crystal, you cheating. Crystal just calls in to listen. She be at work. She don't want to say nothing.
At least I'm supporting. Come on, give me some
That's
credit.
true.
Hey, Crystal,
I can't even
how you
front,
doing,
Crystal.
girl? You have a good day. Have a good day.
You go, girl.
Good looking, Crystal. We appreciate
Don't
you.
get fired.
Do we have another caller? Huh? Oh, Veronica. Veronica, come back in and add some context and clarity to what's happening here, please.
See, it's interesting that people think that the solutions are so complex. And yet, we have a lack of awareness in general about the complexity of what the construct has been. In other words, if the people that are trying to control you have invested money, resources, the media, the church, the wedding industrial complex, the beauty industrial complex, if we, all of us, the prison industrial complex, if they've invested all of that against you, then what makes you think that digging oneself out of this should it be overnight? It's just because we have to understand where we really are first. The solutions are not that difficult, but they're radical. Because in order for a woman, for example, to restore to her natural state, she's going to have to give up some ideas about who she thinks she is, some ideas that she holds dear to herself and her identity that have been trained into her. It's not hard. It's not difficult. It's really how attached is she to what she believes is true. It's not difficult. You just got to give up some stuff.
Wow.
So for everyone that keeps saying, "Oh, what are we going to do?" and it's so, and frankly, so let me give you, so fellas, you want an immediate solution?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll give you a litmus test.
Okay.
72 hours after you have engaged with your woman sexually, you check her mood. Because it takes 72 hours from your energy, your consciousness, till she gives birth to whatever you hold in your consciousness. And so 72 hours after you've engaged with her, is she cranky? Is she moody? Is she bitter? Is she tripping?
Oh, here's a better one. Here's a better one. Is she a little bitch?
Right.
That's you.
So, 72 hours later, that's a reflection of you have seeded that with her, and she is giving birth to that. If she's cool and serene and adoring and in her essential nature, then that's you too. So men have got to begin to clean up their consciousness and the things that they're paying attention to and how we think about our women, and we have got to begin to engage. They've got to begin to engage with women in a way that is more intentional. Fuck her into her right mind. Intend what you want. Intend your vision into her instead of sitting around freaking out.
Hold on.
Tripping.
No, she said something. You may think it's kind of off. There's an author by the name of David Deida. He has a book. Go get the book, men. He has a book called The Way of the Superior Man.
Yes.
And what he's doing is the same thing Veronica is doing for men. Right? And that is, men, get back into your right self. She's not going to respect you if you're the male version of your mama.
Yes.
Hello.
Wake up, y'all.
You understand?
Well, basically.
So let me finish. He says, you should fuck the world in the same way you fuck your woman. Whatever your job is.
That's right.
Fuck it. Right? That's
right.
some man shit. Fuck it to fruition. Right? Do you understand? The Way of the Superior Man by David Deida. So she's not saying something that's crass or immoral or that's kind of crazy. This is a real situation. Most men, especially in the environment of inner city African American impoverished men raised by a single mama, they take on the psychology of a wounded bird. I'm just saying. 323-965-1600. Brandi is beside herself. She wants to cut everybody's fucking head off. Come on in here, Tonee.
I will only surround you with love and warm, nurturing mother energy. That is all of it. That is the totality of it, unless you deserve to get cut. Now,
I will fuck you into submission.
Listen,
Brandi,
listen.
I swear for Jesus and all them white folk in heaven.
I am
swear now.
Taken aback for the second time.
I'm sorry.
Now, no, there was a couple things I wanted to. For one, on the Veronica, what she was saying earlier. I was saying that, like, this weekend I went to see the Hunger Games. It was really late, and they're put there and they're put in this place and they're pitted against each other. And she said, we're working in a system where there has been concerted efforts, a long-term, ongoing, systematic, in-place, institutionalized way of creating this rift between us. So in order for us to even start fixing that, we can't keep going in on each other the way that we're doing. We have to look at each other and say, okay, if we're going to change this.
But going in is our religion. That's become our religion.
But who is your enemy?
Right.
And as long as we continue to make each other our enemy, we're not going to go anywhere. Okay? They won. You know what I'm saying? So I think the first step in doing that is hey, we're not there to shoot each other down, kill each other off. You know, we've been put here so that we can do it. But if we're going to win, we got to stop pointing the gun at each other and start looking at the bigger issue. So I just want to piggyback on that for what Veronica said. And also, yes, listen, about the whole dicking down thing.
Good dick goes a long way for the women, doesn't it?
It does go a long way. It goes a long way, okay? It goes a long way. And if you're getting it good every 72 hours, I think most of the time you can keep some really calm women around.
That's right. That's right.
However, I just want to make sure that you guys don't mistake and think that that's all you need to do. Exactly. That's only a portion of the problem.
For some of you, that's all we need to do.
Now,
for some of you, we just...
But I'm not disagreeing. I mean, I'm just saying...
the motherfucking Kool-Aid out that yogurt box. It's over. It is over.
I can't stand you right now.
I'm gonna need an omelet.
Another level today.
I'm gonna need an omelet.
I can't stand you right now.
I'm gonna need some fucking red Kool-Aid with ice in it. And I need to see season 2 of Archer. Now get it done.
Hysterical.
Go ahead, Tony.
Wow. Going after that? Wow, I got to go after that?
Yeah, you do.
You know, I'll piggyback on what your caller was saying and basically all she's saying is, first and foremost, I would ask the women, what do you value the importance of? What do you value? What do you value as a woman being you? What do you bring to the table that you value? And then how do you allow society to play into that value?
Tony, these are great questions. And do you overvalue your vagina?
And I have something to say about that.
And then this is, you know, I have to get this point out before I lose it, is that, you know, when you value the importance of something, when it's important to you, it becomes important to man. If it's not important to you, if taking the trash out ain't important to you, then taking the trash out ain't going to be important to me.
So the standards are important in a sense.
Absolutely.
No. What he's saying is...
No, but they are, though.
Be your standards, then you won't have to reiterate your standards.
Absolutely. Yes. And this is a thing...
They're not... Hold on.
They're important.
Let me make this clear to Margo.
Yes.
Okay. Margo, he's not saying standards are important. Standards become...
the way that he was
let me just say, when you are not the standard, it is but a cliche.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm talking about.
There we go.
And then
still standards that you're living, being the living truth of what it is that your standard is.
Absolutely.
Right. Then you don't have to proclaim it.
Right.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
You are the embodiment of it,
Absolutely.
and it's not a text.
Absolutely.
It's not a concept.
It's not something you read in a book.
It is a living being.
You are the living being.
And then this is to the men.
Somebody said, Margo, just listen. Then you shut your mouth in here.
That guy.
Go ahead.
And then to the men. One of the things that I had to learn as a man is that I don't have a limitation that I put on myself as far as being present for a woman. When you talk about being present, there's a lot that goes to being present for a woman.
Yes.
And not allowing society to tell you that you're limited in that present moment state of mind.
Right.
The men in my life were very present for the women in my life. And so basically what women are saying is you have to start being present in everything that goes with her and quit letting society tell you that you're limited.
All right, so this is what we got to do really quickly. And I'm just going to say this and end mine. Society is preparing you to date beta males. Society is preparing you to date what is comfortable, what is safe. When you're in the presence of not a God-fearing man, but a God-realized man, there is a certain level of fear and uncertainty because he is beyond your comfort zone.
Absolutely.
That's who you should date and marry.
Absolutely.
Don't date a cub without a mane.
Absolutely.
That's the beta male. He's a cub without a mane. He's a perpetual cub. And I'm telling you right now, if you lock into your divine feminine God shit, you'll magnetize him into your being. But as long as you're trying to fit him into a social construct that is labeled as normal, you're going to be dating a male female. I'm just telling you that right now. So with that said, we got to go. But before we go, we got to do grades. And before we go, we got to still get everybody's contact information. So I'm going to start with the brother Tonee Morton, the author of All the Signs of Brain Damage, the Relationship Chronicles, the Getting to Know You Process. Tonee, website, where can they buy it? Buy his shit now.
www.allthesignsofbraindamage.com. You could also buy it on Amazon.com.
Right.
As well.
How much does this book cost?
Book is $19.99.
Please support this brother, man. Please, please, please. He's got good stuff in here. I read it. It's an interesting book. Men get away with what women allow them to is one of his principles, which also speaks to, again, the power of women in relationships. Okay, but
I'll just leave you with this. A man will never do more to keep you than he did to get you.
Bam. Somebody speak on that. All the Signs of Brain Damage. Tonee Morton. Good to have you, brother. We'll have you back at some point. Brandi Magee, where can they find
As always, you can find me on Facebook and Twitter at Brandi Magee or / Brandi Magee, BrandiMagee. If you would like to dialogue personally, probably Facebook would be the best way to do that, or maybe Twitter. Or you can check me out on Instagram at Princess Wildflower. And also, here we are. I'm sorry, I was going to pull up something that we're doing right now. Zoe, I don't want to grade this week. That's okay.
Oh, you're getting a grade. No, you bleed that shit.
No, it's okay. Don't worry about it.
You can do nothing about it now. You're getting a grade.
No, you can have it. I don't want it.
You understand?
That's
You're getting a grade, boo.
It's okay. Don't worry.
Whitney Tabor, the young gun. We gonna learn you. You gonna learn today.
I've been learning. Thank you. I appreciate it, Tonee. I can't wait to get into this book. I was diving in
Much
earlier.
obliged.
You can find me Instagram at Miss Tabor, MSTABER. Same thing on Twitter. Facebook is where you can chit chat with me. I talk to some of the people in the chat room. We already been chit chatting on Facebook, so hit me up with all your questions and all that good stuff.
And the avatar.
Yes.
Margo Hudson.
Margo Hudson of Destination Love Life. All right, everybody, you can check me out. You can send some pictures, send some love. You can go to my YouTube, which is Destination Love Life. Look me up. There's a couple videos on there. We'll be adding some things later. You got Twitter at Destin Love Life, which was Instagram and Pinterest.
Okay.
Instagram and Pinterest as well, Destination Love Life. And I am the love and relationship editor at beautycomeforth.com, Forth. Check me out. I have 2 articles up, The Relationship Detox and Dog Proof Your Love Life. Men and women. My articles are for both. I'm an advocate of love and relationships and health and all that good stuff.
She's a liar. Anyway, and on the phone, Veronica Conway. I swear to God, man, blackmastery.com. If you don't go get that NLP program, you're a failure at life. You might as well dig a grave and get in it, lock that motherfucker with some ramen noodles, and never return to planet Earth. Tell us where they can get it. Tell us why it's important to have.
Yeah, so they can get it at blackmastery.com. That's www.blackmastery.com. If you get it, and the first 10 folks will get a private breakthrough session with me. Zoe, you did one of those.
It's ridiculous.
We just went in and just broke it up. We just went in and I just uninstalled beliefs and installed new beliefs, and then you just keep going. So,
you know what was weird about it? You know what was weird about the session? The session with Veronica, which was powerful. Some old hypnotic. It was ill, right? Very powerful. But it came because I had to coach her in an issue.
Yeah. Right.
And that session was powerful. She broke down, and I was like, damn, I'm just asking questions. But she, you know, she went through her machinations. But in walking her through her situation, it turned up some shit in me. And I came back to her and was like, damn, the session with you, me helping you, wound up turning up something in me. And she was like, okay, let me walk you through the situation. And we have two different styles in the way we do what we do. But, man, when I tell you she's powerful, man, it is no joke. I urge you. Blackmastery.com. You got to do it. You got to do it.
And also, they can find me at veronicaconway.com and at theblackpaper.com. Theblackpaper.com is my free manifesto about all things black.
Wow, 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 wow. Good stuff. We got to take a quick break. When I come back, grades.
No grades.
Yeah, voice of reason.
I don't want a grade.
That's my girl, Jay Mitchell. You got to support her record.
Wow.
Listen, man, it's very important, man, that you guys support everything that we do. You see my shirt? RamOmar.com. RamOmart.com. Please, please support this brother. High-end fashion. I mean, suits, purses, man, jeans, shoes. Everything is crazy. It's off button-downs, blazers. Please support Omar Buckley, RamOmart.com. Very important that you do that. And now, grades. Here we go. Chat room, give me some grades for these ladies right now. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the grading portion. Why do we do the grades? Because it has been stated that women are notorious for being non-accountable, non-truthful.
Who stated that?
I know. Who said you?
Come on, amongst the world, we know. One of my favorite movies, As Good as It Gets, Jack Nicholson. The lady walks up to him and said, how is it that you're able to write about women so well? He says, well, I take a man, and then I take away reason and accountability. All right? So again, you guys, not very reasonable unless you're emotionally sparked and not really accountable. So this is why we do the grades. And I'm going to make it really simple. Today's show was so good, and I appreciated everybody's contributions, that everybody gets C's today. You guys did really well. It was a very average day for you with regards to truth. So, I think you guys can do better as your, proctor. I would hope that you guys would put your best foot forward from here on. You guys got C's. Normally you get D minuses and F's and I's, but I'm going to give you guys a C this day. Okay? Very good. And with that said...
Thank you.
You've done a good job today, Brandi. Keep it up. How about it? So, with that said, check this out. Tune in next week. We got another incredible show. Follow us on Twitter, @ZoeWilliams. Follow me on Instagram, @MrZoeWhat. And again, Mondays, that's what I'm doing. ZoeWhat morning shows on TRadioV.com. I'll see y'all next week with another barn burner. Deuces!